Carrie plugs us in. I'm just curious, how many people here went to Anticipation in Montreal in 2009? Wow, quite a few. And you all made it back successfully, apparently, which is good.
Changing planes in Toronto sucks.
Your mic's not working. Do you need to reboot the machine again?
No,
it's
not
working.
closer.
No, it's
Then
not.
you need to.
I just need to remember to eat the mic.
Yes.
Yes,
There we
eat
go.
the mic.
Use the mic loop.
So, my name is Darren Brisket. I'm proud to be part of the bid team, and with me is
Blinded by the light, Angela.
I'm Carrie. Can you hear me? I'm Carrie Holland. I'm chair of the bid.
Eat the mic. Oh, Jerry.
and Terry, between traveling from Montreal through Worldcon last week, is feeling a bit under the weather. So he's asked me and Angela to do some of the pitching. So let's talk a little bit about Montreal for 2027, our bid for the 85th Worldcon. So we are really excited. We are really excited to have the opportunity to bring the Worldcon back to Montreal and to Canada. We've got a great team. We have a bid team that's actually grown by 25% since the beginning of SMOFCon, as we've had several more join our bid committee and volunteer to help put this together and bring what we want to do to Montreal, to be able to enjoy the Joie de Vivre. I'm not going to pronounce that right. Joie de Vivre. The joy of life that characterizes Montreal and Quebec, of being able to hold a Worldcon once more in the next slide, in this beautiful city, and specifically in the facility, which is the Palais de Congrès. And the Palais is a truly amazing location. So I should mention, we, along with our big committee, we also have a great support staff and others who are helping us in putting this together. A team from Canada and many other places.
Mike,
It's
it's a dildo, not an ice cream cone.
Whoa.
That is not helpful. All right. So a great team that is from many different places, from Canada and beyond, with lots of experience on running as senior staff and support staff at other Worldcons and many other regional and other cons throughout the world. So, proceed, please. So the Palais is a fantastic facility. I would say personally it's probably the best food I've ever had at any convention center. That's it. It is in Quebec. So they have things like their own garden and herbs and fresh vegetables and apiary for honey and other sort of, and Michelin-starred chefs at the convention center. Beyond that, of course, along with being a certified building for ecology and reuse, it is fantastically well designed for accessibility. So wide, flat, easy to get around if you're a person with mobility challenges, with also wide, flat, and elevator connections underground to the nearby hotels. And we are connected with both 5 adjacent hotels, and I think four that are within and then 4 other hotels that are within a 5-minute walk of the convention center. So we've got some great venues and some great locations that we can go to. And of course, this is a fantastic location in Montreal because it's right next to the Quartier du Spectacle, which is one of the art districts. It's close to the Basilica and the waterfront. It's just a great place to be able to take in the city. It's also literally across the street from Chinatown, which means there's a lot of cheap, interesting, if you've never had
No, reset.
Oh, there we go. Somehow I also became tech support for this session. I'm not sure how that happened.
Which we appreciate. Power on.
There we go.
Henry.
It's also right across the street from Montreal's Chinatown. So if you've never had egg roll poutine, it is a culinary specialty that you may want to miss, actually, but see how adventurous that you are. So, what else do we really want to bring out today? Do we want to jump into questions? Or do we want to jump into questions? All right, so let's jump into questions. What do we got?
Let's take questions. A couple came in before as well. Please write them down and pass them forward. do a couple of easier ones first. Are you planning to participate in pass-along funds?
Yes, we are planning to both accept and hopefully run our finances well enough to have funds to pass along. Part of why we're doing this, of course, is we want to help. I mean, very important to us is the legacy of Worldcon. We want to make sure that not only do we have a great party with a lot of fun that helps fans, helps bring in, advance the literature, the arts, the other things that we do, but help do a Worldcon that's just a little bit better than previous Worldcons and helps future Worldcons be a little better than we are. And of course, that includes pass-along funds.
Will you have a, or do you have, or will you have a code of conduct? And how will you ensure it works in practice?
We, of course, will have a code of conduct, and our intention in that, is, as well as with many other things, is to work with the leadership of previous Worldcons to look at what's worked best in the past and make sure that we take those lessons and apply them to for our Worldcon in the future.
Okay, so the next question is, will you have bilingual presentations?
Not everything will be in every language. But Angela, you want to take that?
Bonjour, mes amis. Bienvenue à Montreal. We will have real-time interpretation only at select events. We will do our best to have as much as we can. We plan to rely extensively on technology in order to create a bilingual experience, but we are also looking at offering other of the languages of Canada, as well as perhaps KSL, in this case QSL, and other things as appropriate.
Two more serious questions, well, actually the same question basically, but it's from two people who've said they were not particularly impressed by the Winnipeg Worldcon bid, the NASPIC, and the Montreal SMOFCon. What will you do different? Why should they be excited about voting for you?
Ah, all right. So that is indeed a serious question. I would point out, as I think most of you know, Winnipeg Worldcon bid got more votes than any other Worldcon bid in the last 5 years, except one. Fortunately for Winnipeg, that one was a train bid. But there were actually more people who voted for Winnipeg than going backwards for LA, for Seattle, all the way back to several others further before. So I don't think I don't think it's fair to disparage the Winnipeg bid team or others. Then though, this is again about the future and about putting together a team. There are some members of this team who, not surprisingly, have also been team members of previous Worldcons and NASPICs that were held in Canada, which of course includes anticipation in 2009 ForCon and other things that have happened in the past. There's others, including myself, who have never had any role in putting on a convention in Canada, or putting on a Worldcon in Canada. So it is a different team. Why should you be impressed? I don't know. Take a look at what we're putting together, what we're answering here, the work that we've done, and the things that you can find at Montreal2027.ca.
Okay, so I've seen stories in the paper about increased hostility in Quebec to English speakers. How much of a problem is it to be a monolingual Anglophone tourist?
That is also an interesting and political question. I will say that I don't speak French other than like 4 words, and the 3 of them are foods. I've certainly done a lot of work in Montreal and elsewhere in Quebec and have never had any particular issues. But Canada is a leader, an acknowledged leader in human rights. Montreal is as safe or safer than any other large city on this continent. And it is particularly a city that is dependent on tourists and welcoming people in. If you look at what are the major industries of Montreal, they're the arts. Montreal is the center of circus, not just Cirque du Soleil, but also universities of circus and other pieces. Montreal is a center for the arts. It is one of the few cities that has significantly more tourists here than people who actually live there. And it is a place that very much welcomes people in, and is a great place to go. I will say at a personal level, I've noticed when entering Canada, the Montreal airport is a really easy one to get through as an American, which is not necessarily true of the other major Canadian airports, which are not as dependent on tourism. So it's really a great place to visit, and it's a place that enjoys people visiting, whether it's from the United States or from other countries.
Nancy, one comment.
For your own safety while you're in Montreal, it's very important that you do not disparage the Canadians. This will injure you.
Yes, yes.
Same question as for the earlier ones. Are you planning to publish convention progress reports?
So no final decisions have been made on communications at this point. Again, our intention is to talk to the leaders of Glasgow and Seattle and Los Angeles and say, hey, what's been working? And go ahead and do those things that have been working.
The answer is yes.
And the answer is yes.
Any other questions? Do you want to mention your filing?
So we have made the filing. I think it went up yesterday at worldcon.org.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet?
You want your West one to answer, person to answer it?
Sure. Please do.
The Montreal Worldcon bid filed with Seattle as just after midnight last night. We have had it acknowledged by their site selection administrator that it meets all the requirements to be a bid, and whenever the maintainer of Worldcon.org has a little bit of time, it will get posted to the site. We've got some other things to do before then, though.
Yeah, there's this SMOFCon thing that you're spending time at this weekend.
If something you want to say, go ahead. Why do you have no social media presence?
Yes. We have a Discord, but only recently did we hire an administrator for it. Thank you, Alexia. We do have a social media presence, but at this point, we are still generating content for it. And expect to see a lot of bad dad Canadian jokes in the near future, along with news McNuggets about Montreal, Quebec, Canada in general, and a lot of reasons about why it would be a great trip to take to this Worldcon. We are still in the process of recruiting people for certain positions. You'll be happy to know that we do have a social media director, but until we feed her content, she can only do so much.
Those were news Timbits.
Yeah, if you want to do that. But Montreal,
Yes, we're done.
okay. Thank you, Montreal.
One more question.
Does the filing include the name of the convention chair?
And if not, who are the candidates and what are their
Yeah, I
qualifications?
couldn't read it, so.
At this point, the bid has a bid chair, Terry Fong, and a co-bid chair, Janny Shea. We have not made a decision on who exactly is going to chair.
Yeah.
Not you.
So what does it say on the file?
It says that we have a bid chair and a co-chair, and that we will decide at a later time.
It's not working.
All right.
Just stand and project.
All right, my clear carrying teacher's voice. At this point, we have filed with our bid chair, Terry
Wait,
Fong.
now you got it.
Yes.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Okay. At this point, we have a bid chair, Terry Fong, and a co-bid chair, Jenny Shea. We strongly feel that for a Canadian Worldcon, it would be best to have a Canadian in the position of chair, but we are still several months away from having to make certain decisions, so we are evaluating a number of candidates. We are very committed to having Canadian content at this convention, but as you are probably aware, Canada is about a tenth the size of the population of the US, and that's on a good day. So we are still looking for people to fill certain roles, and not everything has been decided at this time.
Although, as you may be aware, it's got a high population today because of the Taylor Swift concert in Vancouver.
Thank you, Montreal. Ms. John.
Wearing my SMOFCon hat, I'd like to let you all know that the hotel is aware of the leak in the back of the room, has assured us that it is perfectly safe to continue staying here, and are supposedly bringing a whole lot of towels, some rubber boots, and an ability to drain it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope to see you all in Montreal.